This Week 15 NFL Picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is presented by MyBookie.ag. Right now, to honor football, MyBookie is offering up to $1,000 in free bets using the promo code SGP. That's right, up to $1,000 in bonus bets on your first deposit when you use the promo code SGP. Play, win, and get paid at MyBookie.ag. We're also brought to you by Ace Per Head. Ace is the leader in pay-per-head providers, and they make it super easy to start your own sportsbook. Plus, Ace is offering up to 6 weeks free over at aceperhead.com/SGP. That's aceperhead.com/SGP. Finally, we're also brought to you by Healthy Mail. Go to healthymail.com and save time and avoid the embarrassment of going to the doctor to get ED drugs like Viagra or Cialis. Use the promo code SGP to get 20 pills for $49. Requests for medication are not guaranteed and must be approved by a U.S. licensed physician. Healthymail.com, promo code SGP. Ooh, welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking that money, agreeing with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer dog?
Oh, well, you know, it's sad, Sean. It's week 15. The NFL season's almost over. Really, boo-hoo. What's next? What's next on the Kramer? Yeah. That's the real question. What is next on the Kramer FML tour?
It sounds like you're setting up a poll question, Ryan. What kind of options do we have
I don't
on
know.
the Kramer FML tour?
Knicks have already fired their coach, so I don't know what else can go wrong.
Oh, okay. Becky Hammond possibly throwing her name in the ring.
I would say for her sake, maybe not. Maybe not the first job you take.
No, probably not ideal for the first woman coach to also coach the Knicks, as you're just setting yourself up for disappointment there right out of the gate. So your Knicks sucks. Virginia Tech basketball, how they looking?
Well, you know, Mike Young, first year, they could have some fun. I don't think the expectation's there yet, so I don't know how that would materialize into a stop on the tour. I certainly think there's some shenanigans to be had with the Giants offseason. Perhaps that's the next stop. I mean, the next obvious stop is Jason Garrett gets fired from the Cowboys. So I guess that's it, right? Like whatever.
Get your fucking shine box.
Whatever the scenario where the Eagles just keep winning and the Cowboys don't make the playoffs, and Sean's playing the Rocky music a lot and talking to you about how this team,
nobody believes in
hungry
them, Ryan.
dogs run faster, and Carson Wentz is the glue. All of that nonsense. Regardless, I think that's what it might be. So we can go Jason Garrett becomes the next head coach in the New York Giants.
Okay.
That's pretty high up there.
I mean, that's definitely my vote because then, as I said, as a Jason Garrett fan, I want to make sure this guy doesn't get out of the division. I want to make sure. But the thing is, too, the Giants have succeeded at really sucking without the help of Jason Garrett.
Oh.
So I think he's in his best spot as the Cowboys head coach because the Cowboys have the most talent. They've had the most near success of the other three NFC East teams. Redskins, they can suck by themselves.
Yep.
Giants clearly can suck by themselves. He needs to stay on the Cowboys.
I mean, I guess you could throw Cole, like needing Tommy John surgery in the next couple months. You could throw that into the Kramer FML tour. I know we're not really talking about baseball right now.
No, that's gross. No one cares about baseball.
I don't know what else could happen. Baker Mayfield somehow
gets into the playoffs. Have they been officially eliminated? I thought they were.
No.
Are they officially eliminated? I mean, they're not going to make it in, but it would be good to know if they're officially.
We keep saying it so with so much conviction. It's going to happen. Let's see.
No, they're still in the hunt, Ryan.
Oh yeah, they are. They are in the hunt bucket.
So they got to win out and get some help, probably, to get into the wild card spot. But they're 6-7. Raiders 6-7. Colts 6-7. Broncos 5-8, still technically alive in the NFC side. The Rams 8-5. Bears 7-6. Eagles 6-7. Of course, they're in the hunt for the NFC East and not the wild card.
So if I'm reading this correctly, they have to make up a 2-game window.
Yeah, because the Bills are the 5th seed right now at 9-4. Texans 8-5, but they play the Titans. It feels like one of those AFC South teams.
Not only do we'll get to this, the Texans play the Titans twice in the last 3 weeks. So that will sort
And
itself out.
that could get interesting, though. If the Titans beat them twice, or if the Texans beat them twice, they could knock the other one out of the potential wild card. And I think that's when there's a chance of the Browns, Raiders, or Colts sneaking in. I think that's what you're hoping for, is one of those two teams really dominates the AFC South, so they get the division, but then also knock down the other AFC South team.
Browns' schedule here on out: Arizona at home against the Ravens, and then at Bengals. They could win out. They could end up being would that make them a 9-win team? Would they push their win total? Is that really a possibility?
I think oh my God! I think they were 9, but it ended up being like 9.5. It was with some crazy juice.
Meanwhile, the Steelers have the Bills, Jets, and Ravens left. So there's an opportunity. The Browns could make the playoffs. I don't know who holds the head-to-head tiebreaker, but
Ryan, in our 2019 way too early NFL win totals, before we actually give out our official win totals, we were let's see what did we actually have Cleveland at?
So you're peddling in non-official.
Yes.
Currency.
We had Cleveland at 9, and we both liked the under. We both locked up the under there.
Oh no.
Yes.
That's the next stop on the Kramer episode. Somehow, or maybe lots of weird stuff can happen. The other one would be that the Rams make the playoffs and screw up that bet for me. That's been seemingly a lock all year. Jared Goff has
now
mostly sucked.
Now they're kind of hanging around. They're only one game back from the Vikings at 9-4, and then the Vikings, Green Bay. They're one game back from Green Bay.
They were the whale at the table in Vegas who was feeling sluggish. So the high roller host sent them back up to the room, ordered up a couple hot chicks to stick some needles in their arm and get them that IV.
Yeah, the old Gronk treatment.
They're juicing up now. The hangover is out. Wade Phillips, who knows what's going on there. We got
to get our shit going mentally.
The defense has finally come around.
Yeah, they're looking good. They're looking good. All right, let's get to it. Feels like we're already recapping Week 14. But before we do that, Ryan, time to talk about our good pals over at MyBookie.ag, the presenting sponsor of the Sports Gambling Podcast and Podcast Network, SportsGamblingPodcast.com. If you are enjoying a pick, a post, a podcast, the 3 Ps of perfection here at SGPN, it's courtesy of MyBookie.ag. They're the coal that keeps the content train chugging along for you guys. And again, not only do they support us, they also are a great place to wager online. Custom prop builder, always my favorite. Sweet deposit bonuses. Who doesn't want free cash? 12 days of giveaway. Just in case you're needing a reason to spend some holiday cash, not on your dumb, lame family. Bowl season, perfect time to duck out of family get-togethers. Something to look at your phone while people are talking to you. MyBookie.ag has you covered. Use that promo code SGP. Very sweet deposit bonus up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Play, win, and get paid on MyBookie.ag.
Nice work, Sean.
Seamless transition to speak about the free roll football contest presented by BetSperts. Ryan, if you could please.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you through all that enunciation. Did you say Ryan?
Yes, I did. Ryan, who are the BetSperts winners this week?
I don't know. I'm trying to work up their get their website to work. Sean, it's been a trying couple of weeks for me.
Yeah, getting ice cold.
Unless I'm reading this incorrectly, Sean, we had one winner last week, week 14 in the National Football League, 12-2.
Oh man,
not
solid
too
run.
Shabby. Lance XVX.
Okay, hit us up. Podcast at Sports Gambling Podcast to claim your piece of the merch pie. Ryan, let's take a look at the leaderboard. The dash for the cash, giving away $3,500.
We're dashing
combined in
and there's
cold
cash.
hard cash.
Let's look at the top 5. In 5th place, we have Eraser 101. In 4th, and tied for 3rd place, Chris Buck 40 and M Freeman 5. In 2nd place, NFL Pickles with 115 correct picks. And in 1st place, with a 2-pick lead, Pickmaster. Woo!
Oh my God!
He's an OG, right? Pickmaster.
He is. Unless he's someone who copied the name because he heard it so much talking about the leaderboard. I just thought of a good name for fantasy and a little inside joke on the podcast.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Jameson Winston.
Oh.
I'm enjoying a nice glass of Jameson. I've mispronounced his name a number of times.
Every time.
Possibly every time. I tweeted out, hey, anyone good at Photoshop, can you send in a Photoshop of Jameson Winston on a bottle of Jameson? And got some good entries so far, including I said, anyone good at Photoshop, could you send it in? And then I retweeted one guy's photo. Someone else wrote back, I guess that's a no. And then he said, try and beat it, nerd, or some. Oh, do better, nerd. And I really enjoy that. I really enjoy when the listeners go at it amongst themselves. It brings me a ton of joy. And I also like to think that possibly I'm inspiring other people to shit on other people for calling them nerds. I feel like that's gone away in our culture. This soft, eggshell soft culture that we're bringing people up in. Eggshell soft, where you have to warn someone where, hey, just a heads up, I may be sending you news that's not good. Are you ready for it, Ryan? Are you ready for it? I have some decent news. I hit my lock and my dog last week.
I thought you were going to let me know that the San Francisco 49ers and Seattle Seahawks have more wins than the entire NFC East.
No, that's
fun fact.
Fine. The Eagles, however,
they're not taking the playoff spot away, though. Is that accurate?
No, and we go through this every time. Like, we got to change the playoffs. This is stupid. No, come on. The divisions are fun. It helps keep the rivalry going. I've been on both sides of it over the years. Keep it as is. It's fun when 7 and 9 teams get in, the Seattle Seahawks, and then you have the Beast Quake. It's fun. So leave it alone. Don't fuck with the playoffs. It's one of the few things the NFL has figured out. Don't take that away from the NFL. Wait for the NFL to fuck things up on their own, which they've done with the pass interference replays. I'm sure they're going to mess up the handling of Spygate 2.0. Whatever it is, the NFL finds a way to screw it up. Let them keep the playoffs as is.
Yeah, I mean, you play almost 40% of your games against your division foes, so it makes sense. I do think it's a fun hot take machine topic because guess what? Hot. Sean, do the Dallas Cowboys deserve to be a playoff team at 7-9? Should they be taking the playoff spot? Should there be a caveat? If you don't finish 8-8, you don't make the playoffs as a division winner. Certainly would be a fun rule. I wouldn't vote against a rule that stated if you don't finish 8-8, that division surrenders their spot.
I would vote against that.
That's a fun rule.
No, but it's fun that no matter.
That's a fun rule.
But like you guys, let's say you guys won a couple more games.
Who's you guys?
Yeah, the Giants.
Oh, okay.
Are you taking your name off the roster?
I mean, I'm not. I haven't played for years. So I'm
great!
Not,
now you sound like one of those people. Are you gonna really use we when describing the team?
Fucking Vince Papale over here.
Yeah. Why would I not say we? What am I gonna say? Them? They're just some dickheads that are on the team for 4 or 5 years getting millions of dollars. I live this shit. Okay, I'm gonna be an Eagles fan till I die.
Bro.
Yep. 2 years when they're playing on the Panthers, they're not going to give a fuck about the Eagles. We are hopefully making it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Let's recap. Chicago Bears 31, Dallas Cowboys 24. Nice little cash there. Thursday Night Football getting off to a good start. Bears home dog.
Trubisky looking good.
Yeah, they figured out the Trubisky formula. It's like kind of run him around. Get some easy stuff going. Anthony Miller over the middle. Some check down stuff with the receiver.
You know what
the
it
running
is?
Backs.
He's an idiot. Just tell him to go play ball. Stop trying to say all these letters and numbers in his head.
No, I do think, and he's a guy that wasn't a quarterback for all 4 years. He's just kind of an athlete. I think they were trying to do too much with him. Let him relax and throw the rock. Dallas has just completely unraveled. The Jason Garrett era possibly coming to a close, as everyone alludes to, including Jerry Jones, who this is worse than the vote of confidence. He said Jason Garrett will be coaching in the NFL next year. Why? How are they just cut him now? I guess it's crazy because they're technically tied for first in the division and have a chance to make a run at the playoffs, so you don't fire a coach. But Jesus Christ,
you gotta fire the coach. Now, I'm coming from a very unique position, right? I definitely do not want him to get fired. A, I enjoy the Cowboys with Jason Garrett at the helm, and
yes.
B, the Giants truly seem interested in Jason Garrett.
Imagine trying to pry away Jason Garrett right now. Trying to pry him away. That's insane. Baltimore Ravens 24, Buffalo Bills 17. We were both riding the Bills train. I don't know. I'm not going to say we're on the wrong side because Baltimore did kind of control it, but Josh Allen driving down towards the end there, they had a chance for a cover. Never felt like they were going to win, but definitely felt like a cover was in the mix. Man, my dad bet it live over at mybookie.ag, was watching the games. Got it at 8.5, so solid play to my dad. Shout out to the real-time green. Josh Allen, disappointing performance.
Yeah.
Perhaps
missed some throws.
The poll question dubbing him the second best QB from that draft class got to his head. There were guys open, and at home in December, you got to complete more than 43% of your passes.
Do you so real quick, I just was doing, while you were talking, I was looking up some Jason Garrett stuff. Did you know that he coached in the Pro Bowl last year against Anthony Lynn?
Oh, man, that was a meeting of two minds.
And did you know Mitchell Trubisky was on that Pro Bowl roster for Jason Garrett? All sorts of wrongness there. Yeah, I mean, listen, this Buffalo is limited by Josh Allen. He missed some throws that I think an average quarterback makes. Sure, he makes these high variance athletic plays, but if he connects on some of those throws, they're at least going overtime, potentially winning the game. So
he's interesting because I do like that he's a bit of a gamer, and there are moments where he kind of puts the team on his back and plays really well. But then there's games like this against the Ravens where it wasn't like the Ravens were destroying him offensive line. He had time. He just wasn't.
Sean, he's from Wyoming. He's a gunslinger like Brett Favre. Remember Brett Favre?
He's a cowpoke.
Brett Favre made it cool to throw interceptions. Come on.
Josh Allen has been in the NFL here for a couple of years, has not thrown for 300 yards, which seems impossible in the NFL.
Well, certainly not a gunslinger if you're not slinging it for 300 yards. Also not a gunslinger if you're not dropping pics of your dick out there on the SMS. You know what I'm saying, Sean?
There you go. Green Bay Packers 20, Redskins 15. We had the Pack laying the big number.
What the fuck?
Completely wrong on that. It didn't feel like the Redskins were ever going to come close to winning the game.
No.
Green Bay was just kind of got out to a little bit of a lead and was just super lethargic. I was really annoyed. I had Devontae Adams in fantasy playoffs. Luckily, I was able to win thanks to Carson Wentz's 2 touchdowns and Zach Ertz. But
so great.
It was just it was an ugly game to watch, not very interesting, and I don't know, man. This Green Bay team is 10-3, and Aaron Rodgers says they're happy to win ugly, but at some point this is a little troubling, right? But they're 10-3, so
10-3 have not clinched a playoff spot.
Yeah, weird division, weird team. They've ever dominated much this season, right? Am I wrong? And maybe just look to stay away from them with big numbers.
The Packers and the Seahawks have had moments. Actually, I think you could say this about a lot of the good teams in the NFC. They've had moments where they've just looked trash.
Yeah.
And
I think the only team that hasn't looked trash in the NFC or
the 49ers.
The 49ers. You could make it even the entire NFL, honestly.
I mean, their point differential is ridiculous.
Yeah, they've lost 2 games, each by 3 points. Look out for those 49ers. Broncos 38, Houston Texans 24. This line just jumped out at me like a rattlesnake. Denver Broncos catching 9.5. I had a money line parlay too with them and the Bills. I paid 14-1, and damn, was that a nice sweat when Josh Allen was driving down. This was not a sweat at all. Catching 9.5, huge letdown spot for Texans. They're just very predictable when they show up, it seems, and when they don't. And very talented, but just very poorly coached. Deshaun Watson, super hot and cold. But really, to me, it just feels like a coaching thing. Like they just have no cohesion as a team. They're almost like the exact opposite of the Tennessee Titans, where the Titans are coming together, rallying, throwing it in our faces, playing like a real team. And Houston's the opposite, where they're a bunch of talented guys that just don't seem in sync at all.
Well, I think the Tennessee Titans are coming together playing for their coach's dick. I think that's the difference here. They all want to see their coach cut off their dick. Tannehill's like, hey, man, that's kind of fucked up, but now that I'm here, I'm going to go for it. And, man, I mean, we're not talking about Tennessee yet, but Jesus.
Look out. 49ers 48, Saints 46. You had the Saints, I had the 49ers. Fun game, back and forth. Game of the year. Everyone's decreed it.
NFC Conference Championship preview. I don't think it's going to be a preview of the conference championship.
No, this feels like a wonky year. This year is too wide open for a team to sneak in from the 4 seed and possibly go on an epic run. But seriously, this feels more wide open than most years, right? With the exception of the 49ers, who are making a real case for that number 1 seed. And I'm not going to knock the Saints down too much. I had the 49ers, but I certainly didn't see the game going this way. I thought 49ers would be able to get pressure on Drew Brees.
Yeah.
He'd be a little short with his throws. Kamara would continue his struggles. You know, the 49ers offense would be able to do enough. Didn't see this shootout coming at all.
All right, so I know we keep saying that we're going to fade Jimmy G in the playoffs. I think that's still a possibility, but this was the game where it's like, oh, okay. He looked all right.
This is a next level game.
He looked all right. He played well. He played well in a situation where he had to play well for the team to play well. The defense, obviously, they didn't show up. They were close to 94 points in this game. So kudos to Jimmy G. He had a good game, and I think if you're a Niners fan, this was the game that you point to, and you're like, oh yeah. Here's the concern: they're peaking. They peaked. This was their peak game.
But really,
right now.
But really for the 49ers, and to me the most impressive is that they've won in a number of fashions.
Sure.
They've won in sloppy 9-0 games. They've won in shootouts in the Superdome. They went into Baltimore and hung with the Ravens, lost on a field goal. Like, this team has shown they can play left-handed and they can win different ways, and that to me is the scariest thing about this team.
I guess what causes them to lose?
Yeah, they really haven't lost
if
much.
they're at home,
that Seattle game was Seattle had to do freaking everything. I mean, they didn't look good early. Like, remember that opening day game against the Bucs? We're hanging out with the Westgate. You know, thanks to our good pal Jay Cornegie over there. Great spot to watch games. And we're just watching this ugly 49ers team win the game because of Jameis Winston throwing 2 pick sixes. Yep. And you look at that and you're like, that's an outlier. And I remember back in the Bengals the next week in Cincinnati against this 49ers team, and they just shoved them in a fucking locker.
It's a weird team because they've also given up 51 points to the Arizona Cardinals. So they
2 games, but yeah.
But still, I mean, you look at
compared to how they've dominated other teams.
Their defense has dominated people, and they're giving up points to the Arizona Cardinals. I think they just need to focus on winning that game against the Seahawks. If they don't win the division, I think they're in trouble. It's the classic 1 to 5 seed scenario, and I think this is a team. While they can go on the road and win, I do think they're going to need to be at home for this run.
Cincinnati 19, Cleveland 27. We split this pick here because we pushed it. The Bengals, you had the Browns. I feel like
here we go.
There were some 8.5s early on.
There were also some 7s. It did
close 7. So again, probably if you got the best side of the number, you won here, and we know that's the most important thing. Browns did not look good. Bengals were in this game, man. They had a chance to pull away, but they didn't. Great video of Odell Beckham not standing around with his teammates. That was pretty hilarious.
Oh,
they were like huddling, and he's just off to the side.
He's got a sports hernia, Sean. It's a serious situation.
What an odd man. But yeah, the Bengals kind of, they're not the complete train wreck they were earlier in the season. I think that's the best thing you can say.
They have one win.
Yeah, I mean, since they've brought Andy Dalton back, they've won one game. They hung around with the Browns. They're not as bad as they were early in the season.
They're breathing down the Giants' neck for that top pick.
But it doesn't really matter because I don't think the Giants would take Joe Burrow. So is ready to go for next season.
Both those guys' rookie contracts together would be still good value at the quarterback position. So I'm starting to turn the corner.
Wait, what are you saying?
If you had two quarterbacks on a rookie deal, still a good deal.
Oh, so you're advocating for the Giants to draft Joe Burrow?
I mean, if I've been told he's going to be Joe Montana. I've been told he's going to be Peyton Manning. I've been told.
So that'll be good. You'll have two future Joe Montanas on your roster, both on rookie contracts.
Here's what I'm hoping for. Well, Steve Young and Joe Montana. I mean, the 49ers have laid down the model for how to do this. And I think the last piece of it is you fire all the coaches and, fuck Jason Garrett. Fucking NFL mind. Get me Eddie O. I want a motivational master. And what better reality show than Eddie O comes to New York?
Hard Knocks? Oh, man.
City Slickers 25 years later.
Eddie O goes to the big city.
Eddie O goes to the Big Apple.
Panthers 20, Falcons 40. We had the Panthers. Jesus Christ. I can't figure out this Falcons team. I thought Carolina would want to show up for Ron Rivera. Clearly that wasn't the case. Atlanta, they got Julio back and they just put it on him. I can't figure out this Atlanta team to save my life.
Christian McCaffrey about to have one of the greatest seasons running backs ever had.
Yeah, and no one really gives a shit. Classic white running back. Have a greatest season of all time. Still, no one cares. Detroit Lions 7, Vikings 20. Again, this number probably, depending on what side you were, you could have won either way probably. Yep. You had Vikings minus 12.5 where we picked it. I had the Lions. I thought the Lions would be able to do enough with Blow and the long rest, but very, very ugly game. Unwatchable did we have this on at all?
I think I caught a Galladay touchdown at the end because for fantasy purposes, I do recall that. But yeah, didn't pop up on the red zone much.
Thank God, Ryan. Thank God we didn't watch that much of the game. Too busy focusing on our own business, our own money, our own paper, which you should do as well. What better way to stack that paper than starting your own sports book? I know what you're thinking, Sean. I don't know anything about soccer. I know, I hate soccer as well. How would I set the line for a soccer game? It's a great thing. You don't have to set the lines. aceperhead.com/SGP. You go there. They set you up with your own sportsbook, a turnkey sportsbook solution. It's easy. It's simple. Great customer service. And if you sign up over at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/SGP, you get up to 6 weeks free. Who wouldn't want that? Again, they do all the hard work. They do all the number crunching. They give you the betting lines. They set up the website. You're good to go. All you got to do is find the customers. And trust us, it's easy to find people who want to gamble. And Ace per Head, live betting, amazing mobile experience. That's what players want, like ourselves. Get started over at Ace today, aceperhead.com/SGP. Wrapping things up, Miami Dolphins 21, New York Jets 22. I had the Dolphins, you had the Jets, Ryan. It was... If you would have told me the Miami Dolphins covered this spread without scoring a touchdown, I would have said, exactly. This is the Miami Dolphins season we've come to know and love. Somehow the Dolphins kicked 3 field goals under 31 yards. Meanwhile, when they play the Eagles, they're pulling every trick play out of the book and like running and gunning and just tossing up.
Very bitter.
Tossing up balls. I think, Devontae Parker and Albert Wilson not being out there probably hurt them a little bit, but Fitzpatrick just gutting it out. They covered, but they lost 22-21.
7 field goals, fantasy football playoffs.
Again,
get the kicker out of there.
Yeah,
just get it out of there. I mean, come on. The kicker for the Falcons and the kicker for the Dolphins. There is no skill involved if you have them on your team. You just happen to pick them up on the waiver wire. You're not better than me.
Yeah, you
just
can't
not better than
pretend
them.
like you can predict how many field goals a guy's going to kick.
Anyway, imagine you started Aaron Rodgers over Jameis Winston last week.
Horrible decision.
Horrible decision.
Colts 35, Tampa Bay Bucks 38. Another push because it was a -3 Tampa Bay. Wow, what a weird game. Jameson Winston just tossing interceptions left and right. Someone tweeted us in. I think it was Vivid Dog. He said he was going to take a shot for every Jameson Winston turnover. Must have got pretty liquored up because, again, the guy just throws touchdowns or turns the ball over.
They were down 35-21.
Yeah, and this Colts team, weird team. I think I've been giving them too much credit. And these on the defensive side of the ball, injuries have really plagued them. And, Frank Reich, come on, rally the troops. I don't know what the fuck happened here.
Maybe next year try to not create a situation where your starting quarterback retires a week before the season.
Yeah, we gotten an update on his backpacking trip yet?
No,
Any photos from fellow German backpackers and him hanging out in a hostel? Yeah,
that would be. I am going to Google Andrew Luck backpacking. See if we got it. Nothing.
Andrew Luck. Colts fans flood his latest book club post to beg him to come back. Who gives a fuck? Andrew Luck's book club. You have your whole life to read books, you fucking nerd. Jags 10, Los Angeles Chargers 45. My God.
San Diego Superchargers. Charge.
I told you I had a feeling on the pregame Periscope, and you told me, no, you're listening to Decker too much.
Yep.
And then we learned it was a Phillip Rivers birthday game. And we didn't factor that into the handicap, Sean, because Phillip Rivers really likes his birthday. He went off.
Yeah.
Went off.
Oh, and he knows about going off. I mean, guy's not afraid to go off. I actually swapped in all-time horrible fantasy move. I put in Duck Hodges after having Phillip in my lineup as the
Remember
quarterback.
that?
Yes.
I do remember
and
that.
I even had Phillip Eckler as my stack. I outthought
Sean,
myself.
I played Melvin Gordon and Eckler, although Eckler the better start there. That worked out just fine.
Over 200 all-purpose yards, and this Jags defense completely packed it in. So who the fuck knows this Chargers team? The baby whales.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man.
They lost outright 23-16. We believed in Patriots coming off a loss. Did not work out, so they immediately flew out a video crew. Even though the game happened before that, they knew this isn't the team. This isn't the team. Again, do yourself a favor, and if the Patriots are losing, just check in on Boston Capper's Twitter feed. It is a delight to see him vent about this team. He sounds like someone like my friend who's a Bengals fan. That's how if you read his tweets, you would think they'd be like well below 500.
So I know we already talked about this, but so what was the timeline of before the game? Like they were playing and they sent a scouting film crew ahead?
They're just getting some game footage, Ryan. Just happened to be 8 minutes of guys calling plays. I mean,
what could they possibly have been doing?
I don't know.
Let's
also,
assume-
I guess to their credit, don't most people just call things in via the radio? But again, the Patriots have lost any sort of benefit of the doubt. And their defense of like, we don't need to cheat. You probably didn't need to cheat to beat the Jets, but you still did it. And
I see what's going on
Lance Armstrong
here.
probably didn't need to cheat. Nixon didn't probably need to cheat to, they're even people who are going to win still enjoy cheating. They're psychos.
Sean, it's totally not a big. I don't know if you knew this, but the TV production team is actually a separate entity than the Patriots football operations. So, I'm sorry for bringing this up. Obviously, like that's when you're guilty. When you point things out, like, hey, it's actually a different entity. That's when you're guilty.
I wanted it to be like, this is a dumb story. I don't think anything of it. But just hearing Bill Belichick just grabbing anyone
we're definitely not involved here
to throw under the bus. It is.
Do you know the name of the documentary series they were filming?
Do your job.
Do your job.
And in the Patriots organization, it means cheat. I mean, they really insult your intelligence. The deflator. He was just a guy who lost a bunch of weight. You would call him the deflated, first off. You wouldn't. You're from Massachusetts. No. You're not that retarded.
Deflator.
I was doing some research, and I looked up some Spygate 1.0 stuff.
Isn't the deflator the bad guy in Star Wars?
The deflator. This is what happens at the.
No one ever has been called the deflator ever
No.
for anything other than taking air out of footballs so that there's a lower amount of air pressure, aka era PSI.
They're scientists. Then this is Spygate 1.0. Tell me if this sounds familiar. Then the Patriots coach, Bill Belichick, the cheating program's mastermind, spoke. He said he had merely misinterpreted a league rule, explaining that he thought it was legal to videotape opposing team signals as long as the material wasn't used in real time. Few in the room bought it. Belichick said he had made a mistake. My mistake.
Let's move on, all right?
Moving on. Do our job.
We all make mistakes.
He probably didn't direct someone to cheat. Just like if you watch The Irishman, they don't say, hey, go and kill this guy.
Spoiler alert, spoiler alert.
You go, hey, the guy. You go,
surprise
me.
me.
Our friend.
Surprise me.
It is what it is. Pittsburgh Steelers 23. Another lock potential for me. I had it in the MyBookie Super Contest. Pittsburgh -2.5. Felt great about it. Taking care of business on the road against the Arizona Cardinals. Cards just unraveling a little bit. Kyler Murray hitting the rookie wall, feels like.
Ideal gas law. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't get past this Patriots literally getting caught for doing the same thing again. I can't get past that.
It's so great.
Pittsburgh, there we go. Coach of the year, Mike
Tomlin. Mad respect for Tomlin.
And now look who's back, Juju. James Conner. They're like, hey, we're a playoff team. Let's get back
the band back together. Speaking of that, Tennessee Titans 42, Oakland Raiders 21. All over the Titans, like I proclaimed. Not going to pick against the Titans all season. They got some mojo. They got some juice. And, they're just playing really well. There's no other way to phrase it.
We also need to have a serious talk about whatever Tennessee is doing to preserve Derrick Henry, so he's just peaking at the end of the year every year as a giant running back. Like, they're obviously doing something exactly right. It's now, what?
Yeah, and he's
2.5 seasons of this?
But his consistency has gone up tremendously, right? Because he was always just kind of like a home run hitter as far as games, just hot and cold. He'd have those like 45-point fantasy games where you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, he's everything. I mean, honestly, watch him run this year, and it's like, wow, he kind of looks like Gurley before Gurley turned into a giant bitch. That's what he looks like, just a giant man who, like, when he gets out in space, he's not going down.
Look out. Rams 28, Seahawks 12, as I tweeted out during the game.
Okay.
Standing strong on Jared Goff's Sucks Island. Rams kind of have had the Seahawks number a little bit. I don't know what it is about the matchup, but their offense did look much, much better. And, the Seattle team, they'll eventually, once in a while, they'll just pull the rug out from under you. I thought they were kind of playing into form, but kind of laid an egg there Sunday
Running
night.
game looks better, and they just, for whatever reason, they went away from Robert Woods for much of this season. And I think the biggest thing that I've noticed from this team is, A, the tight end's more involved, and B, they've gone back to Robert Woods.
Yeah. Getting him involved seems to really help. Last game of the week, the Philadelphia Eagles on the brink of elimination of their season.
You're embarrassing yourself right now.
Eagles 23, Giants 17. A giant win for the Philadelphia Eagles in the franchise. Great comeback victory led by franchise quarterback Carson Wentz.
Wow.
The emergence of Boston Scott, Greg Ward, teeing himself up for an epic fantasy performance next week.
They're going to dust Vince Papale off. They need receivers, Sean. Tryouts are being held.
I'm going to send in my video. I'm going to send in some tape, man.
I would love to watch. I would love to watch you. I'd get 10 tries to get off the line of scrimmage versus any defensive back.
Sidney Jones? I could get off the line against Sidney Jones. That I can assure you. It wouldn't be fast, but that guy, I just get under his pad level, push him off. Sidney Jones had a nice pass defense. Dude, that guy would not know what hit him if I just fired out. I do a fake left and then cut hard right. Plant your foot. You get underneath the pad level. You push the guy's pads into his chin.
Remember, one arm's longer than two, Sean. One arm.
I have no idea what that means.
You want to get one arm on the guy because he's going to go with two. One arm is longer than two. Come on, you played football. You don't know that?
I don't know what you're talking about, Ryan.
Well, I guess maybe it was after. They started coaching that after your days in the trenches.
That sounds right. Back when I was mixing it up down in the trenches. Oh, man. Speaking about mixing it up in the trenches. Perfect time to transition to healthy male. I love being a healthy male. You know? Male health, it's important. Sometimes, though, the old lead isn't in the pencil. You need a good writing utensil if you're catching my drift. I'm talking about ED, erectile dysfunction. No shame in it. No need to be embarrassed. But again, you probably don't want to go to the doctor. It's kind of a pain. HealthyMale.com, they got you covered. They've been around for over 20 years. They've prescribed over 3 million prescriptions online. Again, what are you going to get some weird pill from a gas station? Get some, crazy snake oil treatment? No. ED drugs like Viagra or Cialis. All you got to do, head over to healthymale.com. Use our promo code SGP. You can get up to 20 pills for $49. Or give them a ring, 1-877 for Viagra. See if you're eligible and avoid the doctor visits for your ED once and for all. Again, results from medication not guaranteed. Have to be approved by a U.S. physician. But again, you can do it online. You can do it over the phone. Why drive somewhere you got to find parking? Maybe you got to get it validated. That's all a hassle. Just to get a little octane boost, You want to be peak performance. HealthyMale.com helps you out there. Mention my offer code SGP. We're helping people get paid, but also helping people get laid. HealthyMale.com, promo code SGP. Wow, Ryan, did you see I just improvised that last line there?
Yeah, man, you want to talk about a benefit of the plant-based diet.
Yeah?
Everything is optimal. Firing optimally.
Really? Because I feel like I need red meat, oysters.
Nope.
And again, I'm a huge advocate.
Oysters?
Have sex. Oh, yeah. Oysters? Oh, yeah. But again, have sex.
Sean found oysters like a year and a half ago, and he's just all in on oysters.
I had them a couple times earlier on in my life. I didn't get the oyster bug, but when I went to Cinque Terre on my honeymoon with my wife, who's normally a vegetarian, and she got into oysters, and now we're both into oysters, and it's awesome.
Yeah, nice.
But again, have sex before you go out for the giant dinner. That's my recommendation. That's my little relationship tip there. So
yeah,
feel free to use that.
no one wants to be holding in a giant shit while you're trying to have sex. That's just.
Hey, you said it, Ryan. I didn't think we had to get that crass, but all right.
We have the bar could be low for our audience, Sean. Let's head over to Week 15. Wow, Thursday Night Football. We have a gem, Sam Darnold and the New York Jets. They head to Baltimore, where the Ravens are a 16-point favorite, minus 1,100 on the money line. Jets plus 700. 45 is the total. Sean, what are we doing?
Man, I know it's just stick to Ravens and take the home team on Thursday night, but I think I kind of have to take the Jets here.
Is that a lot of points?
This is a lot of points. And
are you really going to take Adam Gase on a short week?
Yeah. Even though, oh man, that was a great story. Le'Veon Bell missed the game because of the flu, and then he was spotted out at 1 a.m. bowling, and and they asked him about it, and he's like, "Oh, well, the real story is that I bowled a 251 while still having the flu." Like, dude, you did not give a fuck. So part of me almost respects Le'Veon Bell there. But our boy Matty Nation at Nation Bets tweeted in, he's seeing 16 and a halves with that low total of 45 and a half. That is just asking you to take the giant dog. I think even though this team's kind of completely unraveled with the Jets, super banged up, again, reason the number's gigantic. Ravens are 9-18 ATS as favorites of 7.5 or more since 2010. Just kind of this Ravens team, they're really good, but I don't know if do they really blow teams out?
Yeah, they've put up a lot, like 50 points a couple of times. They've absolutely blown teams out.
They did beat the Bengals 49-13. Beat the Texans 41-7.
They've taken
beat
care
the
of
Rams
bad teams.
45-6.
I think the difference is the Jets actually have shown that they can be stubborn against the run.
Yeah, and I do think the Ravens
and they're playing offense. Like, there's some level of
offense. The Jets are moving the ball, and that was without Le'Veon Bell.
Not to mention, this is an organic letdown spot for this Ravens team. They've kind of
they kind of see the finish line. They got the Browns and the Steelers. They got some big division games coming up. It feels like a good letdown spot.
The Ravens have had New England. All right, so Cincinnati down spot. Then Houston, Rams, Niners, Bills. Now you have the Jets before you go on and take on Cleveland and Pittsburgh. Divisional games, right? So definitely feels like a letdown spot. I'm with you, Sean. Let's take the points. I like how you're trying to give yourself an extra half point there. It is only 16, Sean. We're gonna go with a number of 16.
Well, is that the line currently over at mybookie.ag?
Feel free to update me. I did all this hard work a couple hours before we recorded here.
Well, is that while you were sleeping?
I did take a nap, yes.
Okay.
I've just been reading articles about this latest Spygate, and it's great. I just love how they failed to disclose. Oh, they didn't know the rule.
It's just a little clerical mishap. Nothing to see, right?
Nothing to see right here. Let's head over to Sunday. Tampa Bay heads to Detroit, where Jameis, every week we're having a Tampa Bay game on. Fun. We're not missing this show. Tampa now got all over the place. The look ahead was 4. It's now Tampa -3.5 in Detroit, -190 on the money line, +164 the Lions. 47 is the total. Oh, is a bluff, blow, blow, blickety? I don't know. Is Stafford going to be back?
No,
he's out.
This is crazy that the Bucs are 3.5-point road favorites, right? It's crazy.
It's crazy they can't make the playoffs. It's crazy. I feel like right now, if you were to play a full tournament, all 32 teams in the National Football League. You don't. Can you name more than 2 other teams you'd want to see less than the Bucs?
Yeah, of course.
Who?
The Ravens.
Okay.
The 49ers.
Those are my 2.
The Saints.
Nope.
The Chiefs.
Nope.
The Patriots.
Nope.
Dude, you're crazy.
You don't know what you're going to get from this Bucs team. You don't know what you're going to get. It's hard.
But what you might get is really shitty.
Yeah.
With the other teams, it's probably it's levels of good.
All right, starting a franchise today, you starting with Jameis Winston or Tom Brady? That's a legit hard question to answer.
Well, how long is my franchise going to be around?
Hopefully for a long time.
Yeah, give me fucking Jameis.
If
you're trying to stop throwing interceptions.
Trying to win a Super Bowl in the next 5 years. Tom Brady, Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston. Brady's
Mind
washed.
You don't have the film crew.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man.
Do I have the opponent's plays?
You can't.
I mean, imagine if Jameis Winston knew what defenses they were going to be in all the time. Although half the times it looks like he's throwing it directly at the defense.
Tom Brady, Jameis Winston might be polar opposites. That might be the yin and the yang. Oh,
man. So should I throw that up as a poll question? Who would you rather have at quarterback for the next 5 years? I'm going to do it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know who's voting for Tom Brady. According to Sports Insights over here, the quarterback position is undecided. Undecided for Detroit.
Oh, really? There's a chance Stafford comes back?
I'm going to look that
I
up.
assumed it was.
While you're looking that up,
Yeah.
I'll look this up. Yeah, I don't know.
I thought there was issues with the line because Jameis Winston did have an issue with his thumb, but it looks like he's going to start. So
Yeah, remember he
I
missed.
mean, what are the chances he's going to have a bad throw or fumble the ball?
He missed that part of that game. They're down almost 2 touchdowns. He comes back in and they come back and win. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea who's going to be starting. I'm assuming it's Winston and Bluff.
Yeah, I
How
see,
do you handicap this game though?
I see nothing showing that Stafford's going to play.
What
so-
are we handicapping here? Will Jameis fuck it up?
Yeah, it's like how many turnovers will Jameis Winston have? That's what you really have to look at there. And I think it'll only be one. Give me Tampa Bay -3.5 road favorite. Crazy.
No, we can't take them as a road favorite, can we?
Probably not. I didn't
Lay
think
the 3.5, take the 2.5. They're laying a trap here, Sean. They are laying a trap. I'm with you. Detroit sucks. Patricia fired? Fired, right? Or is he get a pass because the quarterback's hurt?
Yeah, I mean,
Also, he probably should get a pass. He does not have the TV crew anymore, so lots
Yeah,
of variables.
you wonder why these Belichick coaching tree is so weak. It doesn't come with the TV film crew attached to it.
Oh man, Patriots fans are getting so angry right now because this massive media
It's a baby
bias.
fucking
They're-
wheel, man.
They're out to get us, Sarah.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of accent that was, but I'm imagine being a fan of a team that wins all the time and thinking the media is out to get them.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Philly, coming off that Monday night spot, coming off that back against the wall spot, coming against that almost kill yourself immediately spot with Eli Manning. They're now heading to Washington. Equal pressure because, God, they just can't lose to the Redskins, can they? As 5-point favorites, -210 on the money line, +175 for the Washington professional football team. 40 is your total. The look ahead actually came down after last week from 6 to 5.
Even though Carson Wentz emerged as with a great performance there, Ryan. Doug Peterson said possibly greatest win of his career. Sure, they have a short week, but the
Doug
Eagles,
Peterson said that about the win last week.
yeah. No, I mean for Carson Wentz coming back in the fourth quarter and coming back in overtime.
To come back and beat a 2-time Super Bowl MVP, that's is that Carson Wentz's greatest accomplishment?
No, I mean helping the Eagles win the Super Bowl in
Oh, wait.
2017.
Oh, he didn't do that. So what else?
Well, he helped him get home field advantage. Lane Johnson being out, that's
tough.
gonna hurt. But Redskins, they don't have Kerrigan anymore, so he really owned Big V. He's not gonna be in this matchup. Darius Geis is out. Now, the issue for the Eagles defense, Terry McLaurin will have at least one big catch and one big play. Can they limit him to one? If he has 2 or 3, I think they're in trouble. But I do like what the Eagles offense should be able to do against the Redskins defense, which is, they have some moments where they kind of hang, but I like some of their matchups. And I think the young guys they brought in, honestly, was a step, like a step in the right direction for this offense. Bringing in Greg Ward, getting J.J. Arcega-Whiteside going, bringing in Boston Scott. Like these young guys brought some energy to this offense. They're running hurry up a lot. They had some 2-back sets. I think they got a little bit of life, and I think they go in and take care of business.
Yeah, give me the Eagles.
I think
Dwayne Haskins is garbage. I'm just gonna keep fading him.
The only thing Washington does well is, on the offensive side of the ball, is run the ball, and the Eagles actually are, able to stop that pretty well. If Case Keenum was starting, I might be a little bit more worried because he was actually able to throw the ball downfield, which Haskins has yet to figure out.
Yeah. By the way, I'm just reading the injury report for the New York Jets. Scary situation there.
It's a nightmare.
Chicago coming off Thursday night football where Mitchell Trubisky, Tropical Storm Trubisky, I think downgraded for sure. We got to downgrade it. They're heading to Green Bay, where the Packers are a 4.5-point favorite, minus 230 on the money line. Bears plus 180. 41 is the total. The look ahead was 7.5.
You sure about that?
No,
that's not right. The look ahead was 6, or it opened. I mean, maybe I think it opened at 6, and I love the Bears at 6. Bears are getting the extra rest, finding a little flow in their offense. They're getting Akeem Hicks back. I think that's going to be big for them and their defense.
he is big, but are we not a little concerned that the Packers' moves last offseason were to beat the Bears? I think a lot of what they did on the defensive side of the ball was to contain Mitchell Trubisky in this high-powered offense.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think we saw this opening weekend. There wasn't much going on in the game. Aaron Rodgers found a way. I'm not sure if this should be a full touchdown. I think you're right. 6 is probably a good number, but 4.5 is too low. And at 4.5, I don't think I can take the Bears. I have to take this Packers team. I think the Bears are starting to smell themselves. Mitchell Trubisky just played a game of his career. I'm
going against you, Ryan.
Green Bay was in a classic look ahead.
I kind of like what the Bears are doing. This feels like a field goal game to me. I wouldn't be surprised if they lose, but I think they hang in this game against Green Bay.
I'll lay the points before I take them. New England heads to Cincinnati.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man.
Poor Bengals. They're getting spied on by the Patriots, who are 9.5.
You know what the interesting
favorites.
thing is? Now that the Patriots have been involved in so many cheating scandals, we actually have enough analytical data to create trends of games where the Patriots are coming off a cheating scandal.
Does the FU mode start immediately, even if Tom Brady has shown that he's complete dog shit? Patriots minus 500 on the money line, plus 365 for the Bengals. 40.5 is the total. Looks like the Spygate scandal has caused the look ahead. It came down a full point from 10.5 to 9.5. Look, I used Cincinnati as my DFS defense.
Yeah.
I told you they had some opportunities. I've also been watching. I've been watching this Patriots team, and the offense, something's wrong. And here's the problem. The defense has slowly been regressing.
Yeah.
What does this all stack up to? I don't know.
Give me the dog. I'm taking the Bengals. Cincinnati, they've gotten competent since they figured out their offensive line. I think they will feel abused and taken advantage of, that they were trying to steal their signals. Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle, is going to be sniping. Who will have a higher QB rating? Andy Dalton or Tom Brady? Right?
See, here's the Bengals still suck.
No, they kind of do.
What's the trend of Belichick on back-to-back losses?
Yeah.
It hasn't happened a ton. The defense should be enough to win this. I don't know if the offense is enough to cover it. Give me the points.
This is going to be an ugly game.
Ugh, we just took Cincinnati. Well, I guess if they're filming them, they're worried. So Houston heads to Tennessee, where Tennessee is a -3 favorite, minus 150 on the money line, plus 130 for the Texans. 50 is the total. The look ahead was Tennessee by 1.5, which had they opened Tennessee by 1.5, I would have told you this should be 3. 3 is the right number. I think this is a pick your poison. Tennessee, Houston, they play each other twice over the next 3 weeks. Those games will matter for this division.
You know what that is, Ryan? That's the Tennessee Titans buzzsaw just carving up the league. Dude, Houston, they're horrible. Come on.
They are a zigzag team, though, right?
Yeah, they are. And this would feel like a perfect bounce back spot for them.
Ryan Tannehill, still the quarterback, right?
But Tennessee cornerbacks, even though they were banged up and you got some second string guys, they still played very well. And my earlier team thing, I think, really matters. Houston is playing like a complete team. Houston, shitty coaching, finally catching up to them. Dude, Derrick Henry, too physical. I think they're going to be able to pressure the quarterback. Tannehill's going to pull some shit out of his ass. Brown's gonna have a big game. I'm throwing him in DFS. I'm throwing him in my fantasy. Quick sidebar, Ryan. Do you start Jarvis Landry, who's questionable, or Darius Slayton in your fantasy football playoffs? I went Slayton right now.
Why are you not? Why not Slayton? He's getting all the targets. He's performing.
And they're going up against the Dolphins, right?
And, we'll get to this game in a bit, but I don't know if you heard the breaking news. Eli Manning is in.
Oh, my God, no.
Oh my God!
The losing record is in jeopardy.
Yep. They're getting him back to 500. A home game. Send him off in style. Get him back to 500. Package him up nicely. Back to the Tennessee game. I would say this. This Tennessee team, I worry about their ability to stop the pass. And the weakness for this team is going to be against a guy like Deshaun Watson just shredding them all over the place. Now, what I will say, in the area I think that they hold the advantage is they've become, as you put it, can you make the sound effect again? A buzzsaw. I have no idea anyway, the offense, the offense's ability to mix it up, become two-dimensional, and Derrick Henry's ability to just smash everyone in the face. I can't believe I'm doing it, Sean, but Tennessee goes over their win total this week.
Wow. We thought we wouldn't see it.
Seattle heads to Carolina, where the Seahawks are -6.5, -250 on the money line. Carolina +210. 48 is the total. Love this matchup for Chris Carson. Carolina, they seem to have packed it up. Everyone but Christian McCaffrey seems to have packed it up for the season.
I'm also on Seattle -6.5. I don't like the.
It's a touchdown, right? Like it should be a touchdown.
I don't like them on the East Coast in these early games. But again, I mentioned it last week. I think they were 31-15 against the spread in Week 11 or later since 2013. Now it's probably 31-16. I do think they figure it out. I do like them coming off a loss. I think what is worrisome is you saw what Todd Gurley did against that Seattle defense. However, I do think Seattle's going to really be able to pass the ball. And we talked about throwing that Panthers tight end in there in our DFS lineups, which looks like I may have to adjust because Josh Jacobs is going to be starting. But I think what could really kill him is like some Chris Carson fumbles. But I don't know how scrappy this Panthers team is going to be. Their motivation seems to be gone.
If Seattle had won last week and they weren't needing a bounce back opportunity,
this could have been a look ahead spot.
It does.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it seems like they play Carolina every year, and they always struggle in the first half here. The sharp bet is probably take Carolina first half here, Seattle second half. But it just needs to be a touchdown period. Denver heads to Kansas City, where Kansas City is -9, -475 on the money line. Broncos, who look fucking awesome right now, +375.
Now, this is the Broncos team when I made my proclamation they're going to go to the playoffs, win a couple games. This was the Broncos team I was expecting to see, and they lost some close games, kind of were out of sync, finally got rid of Flacco, and now we're seeing it.
And while I wish this game was at home, and this is now, back-to-back road games for Mr. Locke. Mm-hmm. That's tough.
And what is
coming
scary,
off a win?
What is scary is how much the public is on it. But 9.5 points with this Broncos team that's clearly scrapping. And
the running game, too, right?
Game against that Kansas City defense. You got Chris Harris Jr. He could maybe slow down Tyreek like we saw with Gilmore, limiting Tyreek. The fact that the public's all over Denver does scare me.
It's very scary.
But other than that, this is 9. I mean, I would lock up 9 points in a division game, but there's a lot of other stuff I really like about Broncos too.
Listen, this team's playing well. They lost a lot of close games early. I think Fangio has them on the right path. Perhaps Elway has tripped into an actual quarterback. We'll see. Stay tuned. But yeah, I think hard to not take the points other than always makes me nervous when we have a look-ahead spot move more than 3 points, and the look-ahead was 12.5 here. So I would caution you there. Maybe wait a little bit. I got to imagine, although Denver's the early public dog, that Kansas City's going to get some play, and this is going to go back towards 10. I like Denver. I'm with you. Miami heads to New York, where the Giants off Monday Night Football are laying 3.5, minus 185 on the money line. Miami plus 160. 46 is the total.
Ryan, how can they make this Giants team favorite over anyone? I mean, honestly, how? How are you getting equal action? Who's running up to the window with some New York Giants cash?
Sean, what does it tell you? What does it tell you when you have a 3.5 point line and you see 70% of the tickets coming in on the Miami Dolphins? That number is not moving to 3. What does that tell you?
It means the sportsbook is tired of having money and they need to unload some for some write-off situation. There's no reason why you should not be all over the Miami Dolphins. Fitzpatrick is hungry. He's scrapping. He's getting Devontae Parker and Wilson limited in practice from the concussions. They're probably going to play.
No, are they?
I think they're going to play. They're limited. If they're limited in practice, usually they go. Either way, the Miami Dolphins didn't score a touchdown last week, still put up 21 points. They're going to score touchdowns against the New York Giants back-to-back weeks at MetLife Stadium. Shermer clearly lost the team. Janoris Jenkins, did you see this, Ryan? He was calling fans a retard on Twitter during Giants practice. The team is completely shot. Even Saquon Barkley, who's like a company man, he's calling out the coach by saying they're basically don't have their shit together. Meanwhile, Brian Flores is losing his mind on the sideline. They're pulling out upset wins. They're running trick plays. Fitz Magic acts like every game's the Super Bowl. Love me some Dolphins.
Yeah, Eli's getting the win, dude. Eli's getting back to 500. Plus, the Giants need to win a couple for the Kramer Fuck My Life tour, so they don't have that nice sweet pick.
So you're laying 3.5 points.
Laying
with the
3.5
in a professional.
Off the short rest. Off the short rest.
Now Miami really shouldn't have flown back to Miami. Why not just stay in New York?
Bad franchises are bad franchises. Moving to the early afternoon kick, Minnesota heads to Los Angeles, where they're taking on the Chargers as a 3-point, quote-unquote, road favorite. Minus 140 on the money line. Chargers plus 120. 45 is the total. Oh, now there are going to be a lot of Viking fans out here. A lot of Viking fans out here. But this, again, is a different team away from the spaceship.
Yeah, I keep going back and forth, Ryan. Is this going to be like the Green Bay game where Green Bay comes in, they're completely distracted, NFC North team, easy to look past this Chargers team, and they get their clocks cleaned? Granted, there's not as many temptations for Kirk Cousins as there were for the Green Bay quarterback in Los Angeles. You know, not a bunch of
Kirk Cousins,
I don't know, World of Warcraft things or whatever nerdy shit he's into. Or is it like the Pittsburgh game where they come in, they have a scrappy defense, and they just fucking destroy the Chargers?
Well, the Chargers certainly coming off a feel themselves game. 86% of the money on the Vikings, public dog.
Yeah, I mean,
Chargers are they Rivers crushes it in December.
Mm-hmm.
But the big news here was when they flexed this game out of Sunday Night Football, because it essentially made the game winnable for Mr. Kirk Cousins. Here's what I'll say though: Derwin James now, game 3 back. This defense playing better. They just murdered a completely, they quit on the season, Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to take the Chargers. I do think that this
San Diego Superchargers charge.
the Chargers are a drug that's hard to give up.
Yeah.
But also, I don't think Kirk Cousins and this Vikings team should be laying 3 in this spot.
Yeah, it's and who do the get your little card out there, Ryan? Who does the Vikings have the week after?
You like that?
Otherwise known as next week.
Yeah.
Is that what you're looking for? Next week they have the Green Bay Packers. So you're telling me a road non-conference spot
Against
Packers on deck.
Yep.
Okay.
I think this Chargers defensive line gets to Kirk Cousins early and often. The defense seems revitalized. I'm going to take a shot with the Chargers. I could very easily regret this, as they're not like a great home team or a home team against the spread.
Keenan Allen goes crazy. That's the
But
prediction.
the deciding factor is how the public is loading up on Minnesota. So I'll lean Chargers here.
Keenan Allen, monster day. Jacksonville heads to Oakland, Where did I typo this, Sean? Are the Raiders really a 7-point favorite?
Oh yeah. I mean, Jags have
Minus 280 on the money line. Jags
plus
are
240. They're like slightly ahead of the Giants for worst team in the NFL right now.
45.5 is the total. Yeah. So Gardner Minshew, he's our guy. Derek Carr
was our guy.
Touchdown favorite.
Yeah, but this Jags team on the East Coast flying out to the West Coast.
We got to get our shit going mentally.
I kept going back and forth, and there was because I agree the line's kind of high.
Kind of.
Two things that really made a difference to me in my selection of the Oakland Raiders.
What's that? Sean?
Josh Jacobs does look like he's going to play.
Okay.
But to me, two teams basically eliminated from the playoffs. Raiders kind of hanging on by a thread. What do they have to play for? I'll tell you, Ryan. Pride. This is going to be the last game ever in Oakland for the Raiders. This place will be rocking, and they will cover the -7. Give me the Oakland Raiders.
So, but this is more of a betting against Jags, right?
Cox.
I'm with you. I'll go with you. The Jags just.
I mean, the Jags have really yikes.
Yikes is right. Cleveland heads to Arizona, where the Browns are a 2.5-point favorite, -145 on the money line, plus 125 for the Cardinals. 48 is the total, Sean. Cleveland now heads to the road, where they are the public dog, against a maybe it's getting a little less cute to say
public favorite.
Sorry, public favorite, and maybe it's getting a little too cute to say Kyler Murray's been scrappy at this point because
he kind of hasn't been.
They've been a little bit garbage lately, and
but
he's
then
kind of
Mayfield's banged up. There's all this stuff about Odell wanting to get traded. Arizona is kind of a party town. Could see some distractions.
Oh, interesting.
Joe Mixon had a huge game against Cleveland. Arizona running backs could be a good spot for them. Cardinals 29-19 against the spread in December home games since 2000. But I think
that dry air, Sean.
I think Baker. I think at 2.5 I'll go Browns here. But I don't want any part of this game.
Nah, Arizona's a weird spot. This is a weird spot for Cleveland. I'm going to take the home dog. Unlike last week when I took Pittsburgh, I'm going to take the less.
You took Arizona last time.
No, I took Pittsburgh laying the points last week against Arizona.
Oh, you did. Correct.
This week, I'm going to take Arizona in the very same spot, 2.5-point dog. I'm going to take the home dog this week.
Yeah. You're right. I'll switch it to Arizona. I'm back and I'm wishy-washy on this pick. I do think Cleveland's defense doesn't travel, and you're right. Non-conference road game. Well, maybe Arizona figures it out.
The good news is with 5 late games, this one cannot be on a TV.
Oh, that's ideal.
Well, Jacksonville, Oakland, actually, maybe more relevant to miss than this one. Atlanta heads to San Francisco, where the Niners are 11-point favorites, -510 on the money line, 405 for the Falcons. 47.5 is the total. They make it so easy to pull the trigger on Matty Ice and the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, I don't like taking road dome teams going outdoors, especially in the Bay Area, possibly some weather. But give me the Atlanta Falcons. 11 points is just way too high for this Falcons team that clearly has moments where they're playing. And this is not – is this not the letdown spot of all letdown spots for
Green Bay,
49ers team?
at Baltimore, at New Orleans, and then they have the Falcons at home, and then Rams and at Seattle. So
yeah, this
is the definition of a game that if they're gonna let one slip, it's this one. So, and not to mention they're very banged up. Yeah, offensive line issues. So
Richard Sherman's out.
You got to take the points.
Julio Jones in. Calvin Ridley is out for the season, but yeah, possibly Shanahan revenge game, but it didn't, he kind of left. It wasn't really,
Listen, if they're a great team, they're going to fuck up the Falcons. And maybe this is us just missing the mark once again.
And maybe they will be, but it just feels high. It seems like they could cruise late in that fourth quarter, like they did against those Arizona teams. So maybe that was just a division thing. And maybe that's what we'll learn.
I think it was also the mobile quarterback thing. And Matt Ryan, not exactly mobile, but I am going to take the dog here. Rams, they head to Dallas. Dallas coming off the long rest, and now the Rams are road favorites. This is I know you're going to have trouble with this one, Sean, because the Cowboys, and you need them to lose, and the Cowboys are the Cowboys. But what about Jared Goff makes him worthy of being favored in the road here?
He's going up against Dak, an injured Dak Prescott, a Dallas Cowboys team that, again, is dealing with an interim head coach that will be named he's not the head coach anymore. It's complete disarray. Jerry Jones is going off, and this Rams offense have really figured out how to move the ball. And I think everything that the Bears did against the Cowboys, that's how the Rams
Why is
win.
it not Dallas -3?
It was, and it's
But why is it not Dallas -3 right now?
Because I don't know.
I know you hate the Cowboys, Sean, but objectively, it's Jared Goff.
That's true, but you saw what Mitch Trubisky did against the Cowboys, right? They got the running backs involved. They got the easy passes over the middle. They were using space.
He was at home.
Yeah, he was. But, I mean, the Rams went in and destroyed an Arizona Cardinals team. This Rams team is firing on all cylinders, and there's probably one coach in the league who hasn't figured out how to play Jared Goff, and I think that's Jason Garrett. If there's anyone in the league who doesn't understand, you got to wait till the last second to kind of adjust your defense so that Sean McVay can't radio it in. If there's one person who hasn't got the message,
yep, clap it up.
it's the clapper himself. Give me the Rams -2.
All right. Give me the Cowboys. You're on the wrong side. You know you're on the wrong side. I like your angle. Way too much movement off the look ahead. You don't need them to lose this game.
No, I don't.
You, the Eagles fan. You, the member of the Eagles family.
Yep.
Yeah, you're stretching on that one. Sunday Night Football. Thank you for flexing the Bills and Steelers, right? Two blue-collar cities. Two cities. I don't think they're recording games. You think they need to record
Tomlin
ahead of
doesn't need
time
that.
to see what's going on?
He's
No.
a cool-ass dude.
Just give me that pair of aviators, motherfucker. Pittsburgh -1.5, -125 on the money line. Bills +100. 37 is the total. Whew. Yeah, I don't think Josh Allen's going into Pittsburgh and getting this one done.
I didn't have to think about this one at all. Duck 3-0 as a starter. James Conner, Juju Smith-Schuster back.
These are all big.
Yeah, Josh Allen versus this Pittsburgh secondary on the road. I think that's going to be a lot for him. And Pittsburgh at home in prime time. This is kind of their wheelhouse.
Not to mention, they more or less clinch a divisions. Although I was looking while we were recording, I did look. If they were to end, the Cleveland Browns have a head start in the divisional record category because they still have 2 games left. And they only have 1 loss in the division. So actually, if they were to end up tied, the Browns would advance. But obviously, the Browns would have to win out. The Steelers would have to go 1-2. I think, I'm not betting
The
against
Steelers lead the NFL in sacks, QB hits, and takeaways.
The defense is playing. And the running, again, the Bills, you keep saying their weakness isn't quite the running game. I still think they have weaknesses
They still have
against
trouble.
the running game. And not to mention, who does Pittsburgh play next week? Sorry, who does Buffalo play next week?
The New England
Patriots.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man.
So they probably won't want to use their real signals. They'll probably be using fake signals because they know the Patriots will be filming them. That'll throw them off.
Will the Do Your Job production crew be in Pittsburgh for this one?
Oh, my God. Please, yes. And now that would actually be a good documentary. Another thing we didn't hit on, how it was very suspicious. The guy immediately said, hey, can I just delete the footage and act like this didn't happen?
That again, you may not be guilty, but you're acting a lot like a guilty person.
Yes.
Colts head to New Orleans, where the Saints.
Ryan, real quick. Early results from the SGPN poll question. If you had to choose one quarterback for the next 5 years, who would you choose in first place? I'll actually let Ryan guess what the results are right now.
Is
I know
it
I'm
just
smiling.
Jameis Winston and
I know
Tom
I'm
Brady?
Yeah, it's just Jameis Winston and Tom Brady. Probably tipping the hand, but guess the percentages.
Jameis
Who's getting
Winston, 86%.
64%.
Oh, close.
And not a ton of votes. Let your voice be heard at Gambling Podcast on
Let
Twitter.
your voice be heard. Colts are 9.5-point dogs in New Orleans, plus 315 on the money line. New Orleans minus 380. 46 is the total. Sean?
This is tough because I do feel like that Tampa Bay loss, kind of a dagger for this Colts team.
They're done now, right?
Yeah, now it's a non-conference road game, but it is Monday night, so I don't think they're going to be a total dud. New Orleans, that game felt like it took a lot out of them. I mean, I'm really worried about this Colts defense right now. I think it's the injuries, scheme, whatever it is, they're just not putting a good product on the field. And if Jameis Winston is carving you up at home, I think Drew Brees may do that as well. But the number's kind of big for a decent Colts team.
It's on the wrong side of 10, though.
Yeah, situationally, I'm going to have to go with the Saints. I'm going against my Colts here.
Look at you. You're growing up. Yeah, the letdown spot is interesting, but I think Indy's done, and I think this is a non-conference road spot. I think it's easy to leave this one down, even though it's Monday Night Football. This is what? Booger has 3 more games left before we say farewell?
Who will have a job next year in the NFL? Jason Garrett or Booger McFarland? Or both?
Wow. More
or neither.
More employable, Booger or John Fox?
Ooh.
Well, actually, John Fox works for ESPN. Let me go even deeper.
He's already got it.
More employable, Booger or Jeff Fisher?
Jeff Fisher's very employable. He's like a fun guy on Twitter. As long as he's not actually coaching your team, he's fun.
I guess so. That's it. Lock Dog Tease. Happy birthday.
Lock Dog and Tease presented by MyBookie.ag. Promo code SGP. Kramer.
Steelers lock.
Oh, my God, you piece of shit.
Why am I a piece of shit?
'Cause that was
Let's
gonna be my
double
lock.
lock. Let's do it. We haven't done it all year.
All right. This is like docking or something.
Double lock salute.
Okay.
For my dog, man, I went a little chalkier than I expected. Is going Chargers acceptable? Plus 120?
Yeah.
Can I get a ruling on that?
Sure can, Ryan.
San Diego Superchargers charge.
For my tease, Oakland gets it done. Last game in the Coliseum.
It's easy.
-1. Let's tease Arizona up to 8.5.
The Wong teaser.
And let's tease the Dallas Cowboys up to 8.
That's just a bad idea, Ryan. I'll also lock up Pittsburgh. Rare double lock. Give me the Steelers -1.5. For my dog. So many different things
Just take the
I could.
Dolphins.
Give me Miami
Plus
plus 160. Are you kidding me?
It's a good price.
That's a great
Objectively, that's a good price.
price. For my tees, give me the Broncos up to 15.
Oh, wow.
Oakland. Wow. I mean, that's for this team right now. Oakland down to -1. Do I tease the Jets up to 22? That feels like a bit of a lost cause.
22 is a lot of points.
Yeah.
It is the National Football League, Sean.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I'll throw the bone. Throw the Jets a bone. Put them in a 22-point tease. All right, that'll do it for the Sports Gambling Podcast. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter. Instagram, Sports Gambling Podcast. Twitter, @Gambling Podcast. Rate, review, and share on the old iTunes.
Sean.
Yes.
If you like pleasers, this is a nice week to do the pleaser. You can get Dolphins -2.5 if you like that. You can get Chargers -3 at home.
Woo-hoo.
Some interesting opportunities.
Denver -3. Or no, Denver +3.
Denver +3.
Yeah, I might add, this is a pleaser weekend.
This might be a pleaser weekend.
It is a pleaser weekend, and please your partner. Go to healthymail.com, promo code SGP, and please yourself by starting your own sportsbook. aceperhead.com/SGP. And for SGP, SGPN, and DJ Nation, #DJs only. I'm Sean, stacking the money green for the Sports Gambling Podcast, and he is Ryan.
I believe in Eli.
Kramer. Let it ride.